Hi, friends. Dear Burt, 21. Well, we're moving along. Okay, get into a few questions of the beginning of the year, 2010. The picture behind me, that's a pure photograph. And I put it up because I'll be working on it this week. I'll be doing some painting. What it is, I was over a friend's house in Kefalonia. Kefalonia is an island in just off the coast of Greece. It's a Greek island. Kefalonia, sometimes called Cephalonia. And as I was driving along with him, I saw this old lighthouse, 1,000-year-old lighthouse. Well, I thought that was interesting, so I took a couple of pictures of it. And I'll do some painting, and possibly it'll be ready next week, if not the week after. Okay, let's, in the beginning of the year, let's get into some of your questions. Let's see, Cindy says, hi, Burt, love the excerpt of Goodbye, April Moon. Good, so a lot of you are reading that excerpt. Good, I'm glad you are. Would you do better by telling us how to order a copy from you? I read the excerpt listed, but didn't see a way to put a copy in a shopping cart. That's because it's not commercial. There are no shopping carts on that one. I told you, a lot of my stuff is not commercial, and burtsart.us is strictly for your enjoyment. No money involved. From Carrie, hello, Burt. Thanks for the. I immediately read Goodbye, April Moon. Now, please, where can I get the book? Another one. I've been a fan since Supermind in New Orleans. Oh, that was a while ago. Love New Orleans, by the way. Well, Carrie, I'll have an answer for you in a minute. And let's see, we have a lot of people are interested in this, in the books. From Janice. Okay, Bert, I give up. I went to your book site. I loved what I read, but where do I place my order to buy your books? What are the prices? There are no prices. Margaret Scott, hi, Bert. Just access your book, April Moon. Much of what you say would be useful if I could use it for training other people, etc., etc. What are the copyright limits, rules on this work? Well, of course, all writers' their works are copyrighted immediately as soon as they write them. And all of my stuff has been copyrighted for quite some time. I believe Goodbye April Moon is copyrighted 1998. But I've got an answer for all of you people and the rest of you as well. I'm going to give you a real present now. Let's see. Well, here's another one on the book. Let me finish talking about the book for those of you. I said I'm going to give you a real present. The writing I do, all the books that you see there, I've never submitted them to a publisher. I am published. I was published by Pocket Books when I wrote The Silva Mind Control Method of Mental Dynamics with Jose Silva. That went into 11 different languages, and a few other books I've written that have been published. But the fiction that I write that you see in burtsart.us, I've never approached a publisher with that, nor an agent, mainly because I enjoy writing it so much. I've written them basically for my friends, that's all. Well, you're all my friends now, so I'm going to give you a treat. The next time you go to burtsart.us, click on to Goodbye April Moon, and you're going to get the whole entire book, whole thing from beginning to end. I think it's 60,000 words or so. It's pretty interesting. To give you an idea, the original title was, and I still like the original title, but Goodbye April Moon, of course, is, it gets you thinking, what in the world is that about, April Moon? Well, you find out as soon as you read the first chapter. But the original title was My Friend God. I may go back to that title. I don't know. Let's see. Those of you who read the entire book, maybe you'll have some comments in a week or maybe two. I don't know how fast you read. And you're going to have to read it on your computer, of course, because you're not getting a hard copy. You're just getting a digitalized version of it. Okay, enjoy. I think you'll find it quite interesting. Got a boffo ending also, by the way. Okay, let's see. From Jean, dear Bert, look forward to your Friday treat. I just purchased a healing triangle. I have the same problem with it because I fall asleep. I fall asleep. I wake at the end of the tape or the end of the CD or the end of whatever you're listening to, somewhat frustrated that I missed 10 or so minutes. Did my subconscious mind still hear the complete lecture? Your thoughts, please. Jean V. Okay, interesting question. She fell asleep while she was listening. You know something, Jean? You got it, even more so than someone who was listening on the conscious level, especially since you tell me that you woke up as soon as it was over. Therefore, what you're telling me is that you were in a state of alpha. In other words, a very light state of sleep. You were sleeping, but a light state. And when you're in alpha, you are getting everything, and you're getting it verbatim. You're not qualifying. You're not judging it. You're just getting it. So all that material is in your subconscious. Don't be concerned about falling asleep when you're hearing a lecture. You know, at one time, something that went over very big in the beginning, but then it kind of fell by the wayside because they didn't quite understand it, was something called sleep learning, whereas you would learn through listening to textbooks while you were sleeping. You'd put a little speaker under your pillow, and you'd get it only, it would turn on only when it was in alpha. The problem was you only spend about 10 minutes in alpha, whereas you spend maybe 80 minutes in delta, and you're not being reached in delta. You're totally blank. You're not hearing in delta. So out of the 90-minute sleep cycle, you're only getting 10 minutes of it. But for what you're telling me, you're getting all of it. Don't be concerned about going to sleep when you're listening to it. If you doze off, that's fine. Okay. Let's see. What else? Melena. Dear Burt, could you possibly share with us your technique for clearing acne? My son suffers from it, and I'm quite sure the causes are not physical. Okay. Very simple. Energize a glass of water. I've gone into this before. Let me take a glass here. No water here, but take a glass, fill it with water. Hold it like so. Hold it in front of your forehead. And close your eyes and imagine a beam of light coming out of your forehead going into the water. And then visualize your son patting the water on his acne. And then visualize him going to sleep, waking up the next day, and visualize his skin very clear. And that's it. That's it. It's your intent that's doing it. You can turn water into anything, as I've mentioned before to you. You can turn water into a nice healing agent. Whenever I buy anything, if I get a new car, I bought a car recently. First thing I did was energize water and sprinkle all over the car, get the negative energy out of it. Okay, let's see if we can get into another question here. That was very quick and very simple, but it is very easy to do. Okay. Douglas, I do like your question you gave us to use. How about a suggestion for rephrasing for better results? The question was how to make $1,000 in a year, and the question was, the magic question, the MQ, can you do better? Those 4 words. And what Doug is suggesting is how much better can you do? And somebody else said, how about using it for yourself? You know, those are all great ideas. You do use it for yourself. I use it for myself all the time. Whenever I'm doing something, if I'm writing something or if I'm creating something, about halfway through I start telling myself, can you do better? And you know something? I always can. It's a good question to ask yourself as well. Tom says, just enough time maybe. I'll read the chapter. My question is, I don't have much luck visualizing things. Is there anything I can do besides visualize? Well, yes, there is. Pretend that you sense it. Daydream it. Daydreaming and visualizing are basically the same thing. But if you think you can't visualize, vocalize. In other words, if you're walking down the street and you say, I can't visualize myself walking down the street, close your eyes and say, I'm walking down the street. As I'm walking, I see a store, or whatever. And suddenly the image will come. Boy, this 9 minutes really went fast. Only got about 15 seconds. Have a wonderful day. Burt Goldman signing off. See you next week. Enjoy the book.